recognized to speak against the bill.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'll be brief. $168 million. That's how much general revenue grew from 2017 to 2018 in 1 year. It grew $168 million. Since I've been here in 2013, year over year, it's $514 million
Kevin Ashbury.
than it was in 2013. The general revenue growth has been, and I believe will continue to be, sufficient to fix this problem if we would just file the bill and cast the votes to do it. Thank you.
Representative Payton has spoken against the bill. Would anyone like to speak for the bill? Representative Richmond, you're recognized to speak for the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. Come here to do something that I didn't think I would ever do in my political career, and that's encourage you to raise taxes. It just wasn't something I thought that would be necessary. But unfortunately, it is. How long have we been trying to do something with our highways? It's been going on long before I got here, and yet nothing's been done. The can gets kicked down the road, and the cost continues to grow. Our highways
You have an alternative.
are deteriorating even at a faster rate than they were before. And the longer we put this off, the more expensive it's going to be.
This is a lie.
The more dangerous it's going to be. Now I understand the reluctance, especially some of that are here new. This is the first time that you've had a bill that you're really getting some sniper fire from the tree lines. People are taking pot shots at you. They're unhappy. Well, you need to expect that any time that you have a good bill, it's going to make somebody mad somewhere. Otherwise, your bill does nothing. It has no impact, really. That's the difference about this bill. This bill does have an impact. It's an opportunity change. But you must understand something else. That you're always just one vote away from making somebody upset about something.
No, it's not about just being upset. We have an alternative.
Non-vote away.
And he's just lying, pretending that
upset.
there's no alternative.
You
That's what
cannot
they're
come
doing.
down here and legislate and be effective if that every time, a cricket breaks wind, you dive for cover. It simply won't work. You've got to stand tall and sometimes take the heat. That was pretty good, wasn't it? But the deal is, you can't be afraid. I understand, it's uncomfortable. You're getting feedback from your district. But the same people that are saying, do not raise this tax, at the very end of that sentence, they go, and by the way, when are you going to fix my roads?
No, they're saying we have an alternative.
The other thing is that you hear that there's other proposals. I've got a brand new proposal. I found it here on a shelf. I pulled it out. I blew the dust out of it. I know that it never passed before, but I'm running this bill now.
What's he talking
It's
about?
a whole new ball game. What's changed? Nothing has changed. The same thing that got that general revenue bill killed 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 6 years ago, will get it killed this time.
So in other words, you're blocking the bill, the
Think that
alternative.
sniper fire is uncomfortable? Wait till the education mafia carpet bombs you with B-52s. They will come after you and they will stay after you, and that backbone will turn to a noodle because they're relentless. What about the senior citizen centers? What about the libraries? What about all those? it will be relentless what they do to you. And even if it gets out of this chamber, it's not going to get out of the Senate.
Because you don't even want to try.
And by some miracle, somebody sprinkles fairy dust on it, and the people
What a
down there
damn cowardly lie this
medical
is.
marijuana or whatever else, and they pass it, and it gets to the governor's office, it's going to get vetoed.
You can override his veto with a simple majority.
Ever been of having a highway bill. If this one doesn't pass, you're not going to get a highway bill. And you're going to have to go back home and explain why. Because there's a lot of people.
Why? Because these certain people block the alternative.
Gone from being
I mean, that's just so cowardly of him.
to being dangerous. I have on Highway 80 a bridge that goes across a little creek called Dutch Creek, there by a little community called Blue Ball. 2 occasions that I know of, school bus from Walden, mirrors taken off of it by a big truck, and then this last fall, Pottsville football team coming back from a game, mirrors taken off again.
Well, ask Scott Bennett why he didn't repair that instead of building a civil engineer
Nothing
place.
bad happens to the next school bus that gets whacked. Because one of these days, it's going to get hit, and it's going to be casualties. People, kids are going to get hurt. It's time for us to go ahead and step up and do the hard thing and vote yes on this bill and pass this bill, because it's a good compromise bill. How do I know that? Because there's something in it that everybody hates.
That's stupid. That doesn't make it a good bill.
And I appreciate a good vote.
It's just
Thank you.
idiotic.
Representative Richmond.